First thing I want to do, pre-drill the holes. It does not spin nicely. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking you along on my build for a client, and this is my second commission piece, so I'm very excited about it. But it is for another local vendor here in the Charleston area. They wanted a rotating display for their clay earrings. So I had to have a pegboard, had to be able to rotate. And I'm gonna show you guys all of the materials that I have, and then also take you along on the build and show you kind of what I'm thinking, and hopefully she really loves the final product. So if you're interested in the craft vendor display build, keep watching. I picked up basically a 24-inch pine round. It's just cheaper and less waste for me to just pick one up at Home Depot or Lowe's than to build it out. But 24-inch round, and then this is on Amazon. It's a ball bearing, kind of Lazy Susan style, that will get secured to the bottom, and she will be flipped over and then rotate. First thing I want to do, pre-drill the holes. So pine is very, very soft, and I do not want this wood splitting because that's annoying. So pre-drilling the holes for the Lazy Susan turner on the bottom, and then from there I will start building out the frame of this display.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlled.
So I think I tightened the screws too tight, or this is kind of a crappy thing. So I'm gonna try and back the screws out a little bit because it's not really turning that nice. So we'll see how that works, and then we'll go from there. Unfortunately, this industrial ball bearing size spinning mechanism is absolutely horrific. Like it does not spin nicely and freely. It catches like right here once it gets to the bottom. And I'll try and put some weight on it and see, like maybe it needs more weight for it to spin nicely, but I'm not impressed with this at all. So I need to figure something else out, or like I said, put some weight on it and kind of see if that's like the problem. But I don't know. I mean, even me just whirling it around. I'm gonna move on into more of the materials that you're gonna need, because you know, it's just little things like you know, things that I don't actually have to make, and then they end up not working. It just becomes very infuriating, and that is part of the whole journey of being a maker and a whatever. But anyways, so the 2x4s, that's pretty much what I'm going with to build out the frame for this. I have 2 5-foot boards and 3, I think they're a little less than 24 inches. Again, all my stuff will always be in the description below for the measurements and the materials used. But I will show you guys kind of what I did with the framework. So the bottom of the frame is this 2x4. I milled these all down so that they're somewhat not wonky, and I can hopefully get a box out of this for a nice frame that has, you know, has nice aesthetically pleasing look to it, because let's be real, 2x4s are hideous, and this looks a little bit better than the normal 2x4. So I cut a groove on both sides because this is going to be a 2-sided panel display. So one of the panels will be here of MDF for the pegboard, and the other on the other side. So this base will lay flat onto that 24-inch round, and I just have pocket holes to secure it into the 24-inch round. I'm sorry, into the siding, not the 24-inch round. I'll just secure this however I see fit. This is what we're working with, you guys. So as I showed you, the top and the bottom, they have the grooves cut out on the front and back. The center support beam does not. And then this right here is the top. This center support beam is the same thickness, it's just not the same width. Because remember, this piece is going to be sandwiched between the two pegboards in the frame, and it cannot be as wide as these are because if it was, the frame would not fit in there. This would be out like this and it would mess everything up. So I basically just cut this down to width to match that part of the framework. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, again, y'all will see. But this is basically what's gonna happen. The round, this guy somehow, you know, put in the center as nice as I can. And then just for show, I will use this, but I have the 5.5 foot ones. I still need to put the groove on. It will be, oops, like so, all the way up, butt up to the end. Like a big old frame with the panel in the center. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? It will also protect. So this right here, this little groove will basically hold that MDF, and one, you won't see the ugly MDF color. I got an 8 foot long piece of MDF pegboard, and when you flip it on its side, you see there it's dark brown because it's MDF and it's just painted on top. We don't want to see that, so sorry if you get motion sickness. Coming back over here. This little lip on the side right here is going to hide it. So when you look at it, oops, sorry. When you look at it from this angle, guess what? You're just gonna see the board. You're just gonna see that. You're not gonna see that ugly MDF side. So that's my goal. I'll flip it around for y'all. So that is the goal for this project. Again, I don't really know what's going on with that ball bearing thing. Hopefully I can figure that out because that is like, you know, the main purpose of this whole project. Aside from it, you know, being pretty and a project that is used. Anyways. I absolutely nixed that idea with the router super quick because it's not a 100% like 4S4 milled piece. I just kind of like wanted it to not look ugly, so I joined it and planed it, but I didn't, or I joined it, but I didn't plane it or anything like that. The top is wonky, it's pine, it's got a lot of movement already. Milling it down probably made some attention in the board change, so the router line is not pretty. So I'm going to just put it on the table saw. Looking at it now, it doesn't look too horrible. I mean, you can't quite tell much from this. I don't know what's going on again with my focus, but it just, I don't know, one, it's taking too long because I've got a lot more to cut down. So I'm just gonna rip it on the table saw because it's not worth it doing that router and potentially having like not straight lines on the end of it. Such a better idea to rip that little groove off on the table saw. Everything is even now and I have it laid out, so I'll show you guys the framework and maybe you can picture a little bit more of how this thing is going to actually look. We built a frame. It's not actually secured. Can you picture this in here on that? We're getting there. Going to start securing the frame now with some pocket hole screws like I showed y'all earlier. Hopefully this works out in my favor. We'll see. Oh snap, a big giant frame. And I will put that center support right there. So we'll have some really good structural support on it. Loving how this is turning out, you guys. It's looking so great already.
They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And
I'm honestly extremely happy with how this has turned out so far. That is the framework. I still need to secure it to that bottom and cut out the peg.
every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
All right, you guys, let me catch you up on where we're at in the project. So the Lazy Susan now works, which is awesome. I didn't have to end up buying a new one, and I will show you guys how I made it work. And also this panel, I just need to glue it in and set it in the frame, and then guess what? This project is complete. So I hope you guys enjoyed following along on this one with me. I'm super excited to give this to the maker this weekend to see how she likes it and kind of how she styles it. So I'm providing it to her 100% bare, just in case she wants to paint it or stain it something. So it is good to go, sanded down and whatnot, and ready for paint and stain, but I'm very excited to see what she ends up doing with this. But let me show you guys those tips and tricks for the Lazy Susan, and I'll show you guys the glue up, and then I will do the final reveal here shortly.
Right now, this panel is not secured in. I was just doing a dry fit real quick, but I got the Lazy Susan part to work, so that makes me very happy. Basically what I did was I went on to Women of Woodworking and asked, hey, I bought this Lazy Susan off of Amazon and I'm really struggling to make it actually fully rotate. And a girl said she basically took the little pad feet, the little rubberized feet, and secured them on the underside of the screw. So like screwed through one of the little pad feet. And that gives just enough room underneath so this isn't seizing and tightening on one side. So if you buy these on Amazon, that is the tip and trick. Put the little rubberized feet on the inside and just screw right through them. So that is how I fixed the Lazy Susan problem. Didn't have to buy another one. That's awesome. Now, for the base, all I did was used wood glue on the underside and secured it, hold on, let me move this real quick, with screws. So that is how that guy is attached. And this guy is actually, the other panel is already attached on. All I did was use wood glue on the little groove that I cut out, let it dry overnight, clamped it down, and it is all set up to ready to go. So I'm going to show you guys the process with this one, and then we will show you the final reveal. Whoa!
Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
That was actually quite a process. For some reason, this part down here was gapping. So I finally got it to lay flush. That was honestly super annoying. But now I'm just going to clamp down some pieces of wood onto the pegboard. That way it will make sure it stays flat and dry with the glue. And then we'll show you the reveal of the pegboard.
This is how I am leaving it for the night for it to dry. I put some clamps on there, some heavier items, just to make sure it stays down and flush with this little perimeter that I made for it. Eee, so cute. I'll show you guys the reveal in the morning.
Ways they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading.
Alright you guys, that's going to wrap up this video for today on the pegboard display build. I am going to drop this off to the client today. I hope she really loves it because I think it's pretty dang cool. But make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit the like if you want to see more builds like this year. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!